Happy greetings, everyone. I'm Crystal Forman, the owner and educator of Holistic Wellness and Health, where we make healthy living easy, nutritious, delicious, and fun, with a focus on plant-based foods and meditation to help you live a healthier, compassionate, and more vibrant life. Today, we're making cauliflower potato soup and our apple pie smoothie. So if you're watching live, make sure you say hello, let me know you're here. And if you're watching this as a replay, put in hashtag replay and tag me as well, and just let me know you're here as well. So we're going to get started with our soup. It takes just a little longer to cook, so we're going to get that started. And to our container, we're going to add in just about a 1/4 cup of broth. So I'm just using veggie stock. You can use veggie broth as well, homemade or store-bought. Just about a 1/4 cup. To that, we're going to add in our onions. So this is about 2 medium onions or 2 cups of onions. Put that right in your pan. And we're going to add in our potatoes. So we have 2 cups of white potatoes and some multicolored carrots. So we're going to put in a full cup of our multicolored carrots here. So a lot of the ingredients we're using actually came from our produce box that we received from the Plantation Park Heights Urban Farm in West Baltimore. A lot of the boxes throughout Baltimore City have a lot of the same ingredients. I'm just going to cut up a few more of these carrots here. If you want to, you can use these carrot tops in place of the parsley. That's in the recipe as well. So we have purple, white, and orange carrots here. Our carrots, when they were grown, before we started a lot of cultivation with our produce, carrots used to be purple. So orange carrots are like a newer thing, like in our society. They used to look just like this, and then someone decided to play with it and do hybrids, and we ended up with orange. But they're all delicious and sweet. Some people think the darker one is sweeter. So definitely play around with that and to see which one is your favorite. So we have that on, our heat is on high, by the way. We're going to add in 1 cup of chopped celery. If you don't like celery, you can leave this out, but I feel like this adds like a nice extra layer of flavor to this. So it's about the equivalent of 2 ribs of our celery, or 2 stalks of celery. So put that right in your pan. And to that, we are going to add in 4 cloves of garlic. So because this is going to be a mostly blended soup, you don't have to totally finely chop this, but you can mince it. The recipes for both ingredients are on the website at holistic-wellnessandhealth.com. It's going to go in a slice through this and dice it up a little bit because we're going to leave a little bit of chunks. We like a little bit of chunkiness to our soup, so it just makes it feel a little hearty and makes us feel fuller. So even though it's the same amount of food, we like to have a little bit of texture. If you want your soup completely smooth, you can do that as well. Let me get to that part. Adding all of this in. So this is a very grounding soup. It has a lot of root veggies in it, which is great for this time of year. A lot of people are into eating nice, warming and grounding foods. So we're going to just go in and put our garlic right in. And I'm going to add in our spices in just a moment. So let's just stir this up. And let it start to get soft. It doesn't have to get completely soft because this is going to all cook for about 15 minutes. So we're going to add in our spices. So we have in a 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary, 1/2 teaspoon of parsley, and a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. An optional ingredient is 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast. So our nutritional yeast adds a lot of like a nutty, cheesy flavor, that umami flavor, but it's also very high in B12 and other B vitamins as well. And B12 is very important for our nervous system. It helps with stress. It helps with nerve pain as well. So this is a delicious way to get B12 into your diet. All that up. And we're going to add in salt and pepper to taste. I already had pepper in with the other seasonings. I did not add salt. So this broth has a little salt in it. If you want to add salt, you can, but I'm just going to leave this as a lower salt, low sodium dish. So that is it. Everything's in here. If you want to add, like I said, actually I think I will, just a little bit of your grains here from your carrots, you can definitely do that. The flavor of this reminds me a lot of parsley, just like fresh parsley. Let's put that right in. A lot of times I put the fresh herbs in towards the end of cooking, but for now I'm just going to put just a little bit in here and let the flavoring get melded all together. I'm going to put in the rest of our broth. So we want 4 cups total of our broth or liquid. If you have just water, you can do that and just add extra seasoning to your soup. That will work as well, and this will be delicious. Get this all in. Hi, Adrian. Thanks for tuning in. So while that is cooking, we are going to get started with our apple pie smoothie. You know what? Actually, no, we're not. We're going to go on and blend our soup, so we'll just keep it all consistent, then we'll do our smoothie. So we have everything for our soup already cooked. So it takes about 20 minutes to cook. I did not want you to have to wait for me to get this cooked up and done. So I had it pre-done. So I'm actually making a couple of batches, which is cool. Great way to meal prep as well. So to this, we're going to add in about half of this to our blender. Whenever you're blending something that's hot, you want to make sure you leave it space. So this top actually has a vent here. This top does not. So if you're using a blender that does not have a top or have a venting part on the top, take this off and just put a towel over it. And that'll help with all of that steam. You don't want to make a mess and explode. So just make sure you vent some of that steam out. So we're just going to put some of this. Let me let y'all see what it looks like. It's really, you can eat it just like this. Nice hearty soup here. You can eat it just like it is, but I'm going for more of a smooth soup today. Blend it. So the next batch I'll save for my family to eat just like this as well, and I won't blend any of it. But for this, I'm just going to put some of it right in our blender. If you have an emulsion blender, you can use that as well. Put that right in here and mix it up. Let's see. Yes, happy Friday, Adrian. Just putting about half of this. Whenever you're heating up or putting hot stuff into your blender, you don't want to fill it all the way up. You want to make sure you're leaving space because I think you all can see it's a lot of steam coming up here. So you don't want to put too much in here. Like I said, this does have a vented top here. And we're just going to start on low and then turn it up to high. It's going to get a little loud. That's it. And we're going to add this back to our soup. So we want chunky. If you want it completely smooth, you would just do this in batches. Pour this into another container and just keep doing, putting this in here, blend it, and pour it. But for our purposes, we're making this a nice creamy, hearty soup. And mix it all together. So I'm going to show you all this in one moment. So this is our finished product here. All right. So I'm going to actually put this back on the stove. And now we're going to make our apple pie smoothie. So last week we made sweet potato pie smoothie. This week apple pie smoothie, and we're just going to keep on with the theme of holiday pies made into smoothies because why not? So we have our other blender here. Into this, we're going to add in the recipe online is for 2 servings, but So actually, I'll just leave it like that. One moment. Does anyone have any questions about the soup? I'm going to just change out this cutting board as well. Okay. Right. I think we have any questions. Awesome. Let's keep going. So we have our apples also from our produce box. And I'm going to, the recipe calls for using 2 apples. I'm going to use 4 just because these are a little smaller and I want to make sure my smoothie has a lot of flavor to it. So these apples are nice, delicious apples. You can use Fuji apples are great for this. Gala and really into the sweet apples. But if you like a sweet tart, use a Granny Smith. And that would work as well. I like to mix apples and use different types of apples together. This totally up to you. You don't have to finely dice this necessarily. It depends on what type of blender you have. But if you have a pretty good blender, it'll you don't have to make it like super small pieces. If you have like a regular blender, you might want to make dice it up a little more. So we're actually going to make oats milk first. So you can add for this recipe, it calls for 2 cups of oat milk or any other plant-based milk you want to use, and 1/2 cup of oats as well. But we're just going to go and put our 1/2 cup of oats in, and our 2 cups of water, and just 1 bejeweled date. So the recipe for making your own oat smoothie, milk, there we go, oat milk, is on the website. So you can just follow that one. So for majol dates, you want to make sure that if they do have the pit in them, you remove them. So that one had the pit removed. This one does not. Just open it up, the little top part off, take the seed out, and it's ready to be eaten. You can also buy them with the pits already out of them. Those are called pitted dates. So we have our oats milk here. We're going to add in 4 of our majol dates. You want to soak your dates for about 10 minutes, just so that they're a little softer and plump for this. And we're going to add in our apples. I'm going to add all of this in here. We're going to add in our spices. So we have a couple of teaspoons of cinnamon, ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and if you like ginger, you can put that in there as well, fresh ginger or powdered ginger. I'm leaving the ginger out today. I'm also going to add in some pecans. So 2 tablespoons of pecans. You could also use walnuts. Either one works really well. I'm just going to blend this just for a moment. I'm just going to add the rest of our ingredients in. So if you want to keep this like on a low sweetness, you don't have to add, like, or just as a whole food, you don't have to add any maple syrup, but I am going to add in 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. And the recipe calls for like 4 dates, or you could do the maple as well. I'm just adding that in. I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of our pecans here. We're going to let that blend, and then I'm going to read the rest of the comments because I can't see everything too well from here. I'm going to see Ms. Rodette is in the house. Hi, Ms. Rodette. One moment. Ms. Claudette, I'm not sure what you're asking about with the cranberries. Are you asking if cranberries will work in place of the dates, or adding cranberries to this? Because I think that apple, I've had apple cranberry pie, and that's delicious. So I would say, why not add cranberries to this? I think that would be good too. But just if I didn't answer your question, just help clarify that for me. But I think that cranberries would totally be a great addition to this. So if you want to, you can drink it just like it is. I'm going to add some ice to this just to chill it, because I did not freeze my apples. But if you want to use frozen fruit, you can do that as well. Let's get a little bit of ice out. And you can add as much ice as you want. I'm just going to start with a couple of cups and see how that is. That is it. So we have our apple pie smoothie. This is great for breakfast, lunch, or a snack. If you want to add more protein, to this, you can put chia seeds or flax seed in here as well. That'll add some more omega in here as well. If you want to add protein powder, a vanilla flavored protein powder is great for this as well. But with our pecans added, we're already added some protein and healthy fats to make it nice and filling. This has a lot of fiber in from our apples and from our dates as well. So this is a great smoothie. Kids love this. Everyone loves this. So this is fun to just take on the road with you. Very easy to make. And our soup, this next batch is actually done. So I'm going to turn that off in a moment. Make sure that you hit subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube as well, make sure you like it. And like this video in general if you're watching it on Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other social media channels. And share with others so that they can learn how to cook easy plant-based meals. Does anyone want to see me cut up the cauliflower? Actually, did I add that in? I don't think I added that. So I did not. I'm looking at this like, so I have something here. So the cool thing is the other one did have some cauliflower in it. So this is about half of a cauliflower, 2 cups. Just going to add that in. So this is going to take another 10 minutes to cook. And while it's cooking, let me go on and cut up a cauliflower for you all so you can see what that looks like. So sometimes you'll see the cauliflower already cut up for you. You can buy it frozen and put that in the soup. But if you get it like this, don't be afraid of it. You can actually eat these leaves. It tastes and look a lot like collard greens. They're all in the same family, brassica family. Take the leaves off. If you want to, you can put this in your soup as well, and it'll blend up well. I'm not going to do that right now, but I do want to show you all what this is like. So if you ever see any like brown spots on there, do not throw this away. There's nothing wrong with the cauliflower. Just take off that little bit of bit that is like slightly discolored. Sometimes it'll turn brown or black after it's been sitting in the refrigerator for a little while, or if you don't have it in a cool storage. But yeah, it's nothing wrong with your cauliflower. Definitely do not throw it away. So I'm just going to cut this in half. And you have our stalk here. Kind of looks like a tree coming out, tree branch. With the flat side down. Cut in half again. And then I'm just going to remove this bottom, this base here, and that's our core. You can save this to make your own soup stock or compost it, whichever one you want to do. And then if you want to just have florets, from here you can just break it off. And they're like little trees. So if that's what you want. But for this, because it's a blended soup and it's going to be like somewhat chunky, you just can chop it up and it'll be ready to go. So just chop it. And for this, we only needed a couple of cups of our cauliflower. Actually, 4 cups of cauliflower. Yeah. So it's 4 cups of cauliflower, 2 cups of potatoes, and a cup of our celery as well. So you can really just coarsely chop it. It doesn't have to be perfectly all depends on what you're using it for. But it's not hard to use. It's not hard to cut. It's a lot easier to work with than some other veggies out there. So don't be intimidated by cauliflower when you see it on a big head like that. Just treat it like you would broccoli. You know, just chop off, cut it in half, chop off the bottom part, the stalk part, and break it apart. You can just use your hands and break it apart as well. All right. So are there any questions, comments, suggestions for pie recipes? So last week we did the sweet potato pie. This week we did the apple pie smoothie. What would you all like to see next week? Let me know. We're trying to keep it holiday themed. But yeah, just if you all have any suggestions too, that's fine. If anyone has any suggestions, just let me know. Otherwise, I will just pick what I have and we'll go from there. All right. So everyone have a beautiful weekend and a beautiful week coming as well. Peace, love, and blessings, everyone, and happy World Vegan Month. See you next time. Bye. Just make sure there's no other comments. All right. Bye, everyone.